Greetings! My name's Joe Bob, and I'm very peeved. Welcome back to Sunless Sea. I just finished clearing out my backlog of unedited raw videos, and boy do my legs hurt. And no, I will not explain. Anyways. What were we doing? Oh yeah. We need to go back to Khan's Heart for stuff there. Swing by Wisdom maybe to get one of the prisoners that we need to retrieve. Maybe something in the Chelonate? I don't know. Definitely don't have anything to do in Port Cecil. Where was it that I wanted to sell the monkey's uncle? Well, why am I asking you? Even if you do know, you can't exactly tell me. What was it? Right, the Iron Republic. That's gonna take a bit. We'll probably swing by Wither first, since we're going to need to swing by the Grand Geode after Wither. Maybe it was Codex I need to swing by. One of those. And... ah yes, and Nuncio, which should be around here. Since it's the only place it could possibly be, really. So yeah. Alright, let's... wait, first, do we have anything to do here? Ah. Outside the vault, the delightful adventuress consults papers while her clayman Barnabas and a small crew of variably hard-working monkeys try to force open the doors. Ah, you're here, she calls. Do pick up a crowbar. There's a dear. Bit of elbow grease should do it. Right, on the count of 3. Muscles, human and primate alike, strain as the delightful adventuress harries everyone along. Finally, with a crack and a screech of triumph and exhaustion, the doors slide open. Inside is just blackness. Wow, racism. There, now, chop chop everybody, declares the delightful adventuress, striding into the dark with a personal glim lantern. Behind her, her monkeys collapse to the ground gasping, occasional stolen words and squeals of protest escaping into the air. Alright. Into the vault, let's see. Through the doors, into the depths. The delightful adventuress will not relinquish her glim lantern. Jackass. You will need foxfire candles to light your way. 1 crate will suffice for the entire exploration. So you say. I've been burned before. The antechamber. When will we ever find a pro-chamber? Anyways, at the bottom of the stairs is a room with a sealed stone door. In front of that stands a pointedly placed plinth holding 3 thin pillars and some stone discs. The delightful adventuress rolls her eyes. A trial of the mind, it appears. How very adorable. It appears our monkey friends' ancestors have absorbed more than a few souls with a passion for things of the pulp. Oh well, that should make things interesting. She slaps your shoulder. Do the honors, Capitano. Let's see, solve the puzzle. 3 poles, stone discs. Oh please, the Towers of Hanoi puzzle? That little children's game that has been amusing London in recent years? This antechamber must be a more recent addition to the vault than it looks, if even the monkeys have bought into its legend. You roll up your sleeves. This will be easy enough. The word said moments before disaster. 15 stone discs. Ah, a minor problem suddenly reveals itself. Well, I see you have this under control, declares the delightful adventuress, heading back upstairs. I leave it in your evidently very capable hands. Yeah, it's a problem with the Towers of Hanoi, if you're familiar with it. It increases the number of moves needed to solve it. Increases exponentially, maybe? I forget the exact formula. But yeah, with 15 stone discs, it requires 32,767. And that's assuming this actually, functions properly. They cannot be serious about this, surely. 1 move at a time, 1 move. Keep this up, you should be done just in time to see the 6th city. And yes, you can actually go through all of that. I've done that. Sort of. all it does is just reset at the end because it wasn't actually properly set up. Anyways, blow the door open with dynamite. There's more than one way to show your intelligence. Boom! Bits of rubble and clockwork fly. What's a clockwork fly doing here? The stonework trembles slightly as if just about to collapse, but then settles with just the occasional plink-plink of metal and the tinkle of falling shards and gears of all sizes. Well, that is certainly one solution, declared the delightful adventuress, unplugging her ears. I think, though, darling, I shall be taking the rest of those. Cannot fault your thinking, but we would rather reach the center of this quaint little tomb without ourselves becoming buried in it, would we not? Still, splendid resourcefulness. Splendid. Top marks. Press on into the vault. What trials await through the, technically a doorway, over the melted cogs and fallen rubble. A huge maze stretches out before you. The delightful adventuress produces a large ball of yarn. With all due credit to Theseus, she says, nailing one end into the wall. I suspect, however, we will not have to worry about a minotaur licking this particular maze. Come on. Such things are hardly a problem for a woman of adventure. This will take but a jiffy. She leads the way with utter confidence, even when it becomes clear she has no idea where she is going. Even when it becomes painfully obvious to all that she is merely turning left at every intersection, confident that this will lead to the exit. Well, theoretically, maybe. Oh, you know there's a whole thing. People will claim that the difference between a maze and a labyrinth is that a labyrinth will only have, like, one path through it, whereas a maze will have a bunch of dead ends and such. That's complete and utter bullshit. I don't know where the fuck that bullshit came from, but it has no actual bearing on anything. It doesn't even make sense either. I mean, just look at the labyrinth that they trapped the Minotaur in, you know? It would be trivially easy to escape if it was just a big twisty path. The string runs out long before the maze does, yet somehow this does not feel like an insurmountable problem for returning. Onwards! This part of the temple looks distinctly more ancient, and more carefully crafted by its architects. A sense of respect and history pervades. The Hall of Histories. A mosaic floor stands between you and the door. The delightful adventuress catches your arm before you can step onto it. Oh, sweetie, she sighs, pointing at the walls. Little holes run down both of them, just large enough to see the readied crossbow bolts behind. Isn't this wonderful, she says. I've seen many and many tombs, and most just put something big and heavy in front of the door. Bless their hearts for putting all this effort into something nobody was ever supposed to see. Anyway, be a dear. I'll be outside if you need me. Lazy bum. Alright, let's see. Attempt to read the inscriptions. The language is unrecognizable. Is that a bit of pictogram? Why is it by the cricket stumps? Your skills still fail you. The monkey tongue follows no apparent rules, being a creole of many and diluted with each new scribe. It would take someone capable of writing it to even stand a chance of decrypting it, but the age of the inscriptions and lack of anything similar elsewhere in the Empire of Hand suggests it is a long-lost art. Perhaps the exquisite seneschal can help. I suppose, but assuming this isn't just another... I'm fairly certain this isn't another business like that Tower of whatever business, Hanoi, where it's just a troll. I'm fairly certain that it is possible to just brute force it. And you know me, I'm the brute forcing master. Yellow? A cautious step. Death does not, however, seem to follow. Alright, okay, so... first one was on the top, so... Bottom? Next one? Aha! Tile creaks, but you remain unpunctured. Okay, and so, the next one must be the middle. Surely. No. Fuck. Oh, of course it wasn't the middle. The middle was also a blue tile. They wouldn't repeat the same sort of tile. I'm an idiot. Okay, so it must be red, because that's the last of the original 3 colors that I haven't done yet. Ha! Brute force never fails to succeed, and it always succeeds when it doesn't fail. Although that was actually a little bit of deductive reasoning, but it wasn't really, the sane kind. It was just making up shit as I go along. History is conquered. With deep relief, you step off the mosaic tile and make a note of the correct sequence. If your mental map is correct, you are near your destination. A pit of venomous snakes. You see them through the door, thousands of them, in a pit crossable only by a thin beam lit by inconsistent nath light through the hole in the roof. It'd be no problem for a monkey to cross, but a human? Wait. Hold on. How is there a pit of snakes in this abandoned tomb? How would they survive? Surely they'd all be dead by now. It's like the old thing of like, oh, 3 doors. One of them has a pack of lions that has not been fed in a year. It's just like, yeah, you should go to that one. It's obviously the safest, because if they haven't been fed in a year, they're dead. It is the delightful adventuress's turn to go first. To her credit, she does not try to weasel her way out of it. A lantern held between her teeth, an adventurer's rapier bouncing casually on her hips, she steps confidently onto the thin beam and swiftly crosses foot over foot without so much as a glance down. Your turn. Very, very chancy. What the? If you just fucking look down and realize they're almost certainly all dead. I don't know why this game has a fetish for making my character not very bright. A terrifying crossing. Why? Every step is treacherous, and your foot almost slips several times before you half collapse, sweat streaming from every pore on the other side. The delightful adventuress seems utterly unconcerned by her own near brush with writhing death. Oh, do pay attention, darling, she sighs, shining her lantern on the snakes. The thousands of snakes, the thousands of venomous snakes, the thousands of dead, dried up snakes. No fucking shit. You just had to pull the stupid twist to make her look smart and me look stupid, even though anyone with a brain would have realized that. See, this is what happens when one decides to build oneself a snake pit, only to neglect to consider how the poor things will be fed. Seen it 100 times. Well, perhaps twice. She chuckles. Winter continues. Would have been a neat twist if it wasn't incredibly fucking obvious. You know what they could have done? They could have had it right at the start instead of making my character a moron and just have it be like, ooh, build it up to the big snake pit, only for it to reveal, oh yeah, they're obviously all dead. Rather than having my character be some... whatever. An underground courtyard. Down a flight of steps, the center of the vault. So close, and yet so far. This is very obviously the oldest part of the temple, around which all else has grown over time. Ancient tapestries hang from walls decorated with portraits of a single ape, clothed in violet and crowned by the sun. The sun, the sun. He is the first emperor, the 100-souled founder of the Empire of Hands. His authority reaches across time. Ha! Not much to look at, is it? Declares the delightful adventuress. They say they buried the old bugger with all of them. 100 of the finest souls. A hecatomb, if you will. She laughs for a moment at a joke only she and perhaps 3 others in the Nath would appreciate. Mark of respect for the primates, you know? Say no one else could do half as much with them. Her eyes glint. Let's do something about that. Alright. This tribute to the Empire's first and greatest has been constructed over generations by monkeys working with stolen... Oh wait, I've already read that. Okay. The final door. Huge, imposing, impassable. Is there a way through it? Well, one can only hope. There is no obvious method. There is no handle, and there is a gap that and though there is a gap that a crowbar could fit through, the door seems too thick to get any leverage. Maybe if you had something more heavy duty than a crowbar, like some kind of like the things they use to lift boxes and warehouses and stuff. Scratch marks are on the side suggest that more than a few monkeys have tried. Around it are gaping holes where gemstones were once seated. Actually, couldn't you just, pick up that cannon off your ship, the memento mori or what have you, and just blast through it? Or heck, have the Zyren blast through it with her music. You press a hand to the door, holding a candle to the cracks. Stone. Very thick. Even dynamite is unlikely to make much of a dent without bringing the whole temple down around you. There must be a way to open it, though. Why would anyone bother building a door that they never expected anyone to get through? Well, it's the monkeys you're dealing with. Don't expect sanity or anything reasonable. A dusty bowl of glassy red chips. It stands on a plinth in the middle of the room. The fun word, plinth. Its contents seemingly untouched by the monkeys who have tried getting through the door. You take a chip. A drop of red honey hangs in the middle, bleeding out through cracks in the salt. Red honey contains memories. Why would the chips be here? Yeah, then. Consume the red honey chip. Its frozen memories glint in the candlelight. A test of understanding. The memories are diluted, largely unspecific. But that is not important. What this red honey carries is something far deeper. A connection of souls across centuries. The birth of an empire in which even the lowest could be uplifted, and sparks of greatness itself passed on. Magnified. Never lost with the passing of flesh. This was the dream of the first emperor, one of unity and evolution, transcendence and glory. His memory was placed here that all could see their true destiny, purpose. Instead, it is as if the emperor himself is receiving a glimpse of the empire his dream became. His tears run uncontrollably down your cheeks. Alright then. The memory fades, but something remains. Only one who is as worldly wise as the first emperor hoped his people would be can open this door. It seems like such a simple thing now. It is slightly more complicated than simply pushing the door open, but only a little. The lost treasure has been found. Now for the easy bit. The burial chamber. The first emperor's bones lie in state, surrounded by souls in spheres of blue, green, and silver. Delightful adventuress applauds politely. Oh, very, very fine work, she declares, taking a moment to admire the architecture before turning her attention to the souls. Now, unless my eyes deceive me, they're not 100. Not even close. Blasted legends in their exaggeration. This will complicate matters. Oh well, Barnabas, do be a dear and gather these up. And as for you, she adds, drawing a rapier that glistens at the end, kindly remain where you are. Curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal! Then attack the delightful adventuress. This entirely unexpected betrayal will not stand. A blade with a sting. Oh, so it was a false challenge. Bugram. Delightful adventuress tuts. I would not, she warns. There's just a tiny but efficacious drop of Cantigaster venom on the tip. Purchased at considerable expense for this kind of eventuality. What? Do I not have a fucking gun or something? Or something better than a fucking rapier with a tiny bit of poison on the end. Cantigaster venom is fucking nasty stuff, but come on! Shoot her or something! Did I not even at least bring a couple of my crew along? Oh, why must my character always be rendered as a retard in this questline, or in questlines like this? To quote Technoblade, there's some obvious trap here that I feel could be avoided by going like any non-obvious way. Oh, don't sulk, she adds. Fuck you. You're just winning because the narrative says you have to. When I tell this story, your death will be glorious. Your crew especially will be most moved in our journey home. Yeah, right. All the Neath will know of your great sacrifice. Although I may change your name to something that rolls a better off the tongue. Fuck you! Something with a little more pep. I'm sure you understand. Clayman finishes gathering the souls. This could be going better. It should be going better. A delightful scheme. If you can call it a scheme. Such simple things, aren't they? Says the delightful adventuress. Goodness only knows what the devils do with them. But opportunity is opportunity, is it not? My friends in the Iron Republic were quite happy to agree safe passage to and from their homeland in exchange for this legacy. They will have to be satisfied, I suppose. Her lips turn up into a smug smile. And next time I bid the accursed Leonora Fortescue go to hell, well, I shall be able to recommend the bloody sights. So you're going to hell, are you? Frankly, knowing what I know of hell, letting you go would probably be crueler fate than stopping you. Take the risk. With the bag over her shoulder, she's going to be slower. Just have to avoid that poisoned sword. Yeah, finally, are you actually going to do something? And a loyal Clayman, of course. You barely get close before Barnabas's arms close around yours. My god. Didn't even take into account the fucking Clayman. You are just stupid today. Well, that's that then, she says, backing out of the vault. Oh, except for one minor detail. Barnabas, I thank you for your loyalty and fine service. As a final courtesy, please do the honors and ensure our friend here remains buried. It is a fine resting place. Such a shame it be wasted on just one ape. The Clayman lurches towards her as she produces one of your confiscated sticks of dynamite. Yeah, why did I let her take that? What the fuck is wrong with me? At every step, I did just the stupidest I took the stupidest option possible. I hate this quest line. Before either of you gets dropped into the corridor, before either of you get close, because apparently we're just standing there like gormless pricks, or just incredibly slowly. I mean, seriously, how did she take out a stick of dynamite from a bag, or from her pocket or whatever, light it, and cause it to go off in the time, in less than the time it took for me to just run there? Whatever. Before either of you get close, it explodes in a cloud of dirt and rubble that seals the exit. Of course it does. Barnabas has no face. He does, however, most definitely have expressions. The one he wears now is chilling. Yeah, you should see mine. Tempted to go out. She won't get away with this. Also, why is that description still the same thing? It's now for the easy bit. Just sounds silly. A helping hand. Barnabas immediately joins you in the excavation. Were he a regular Clayman, he would likely be obeying his last order right now and ending your life for his mistress. Being unfinished, however, he is no mere golem. In her arrogance, the delightful adventuress appears to have forgotten that loyalty is a two-way street. Even with both of you digging, though, it will take far too long to clear the rubble. If the delightful adventuress gets back to your ship with the legacy, she will no doubt persuade her crew to leave without you. Yeah, of course she will, because she's just magic. Everything goes her way. She's just a villain Sue. Everything, all her plans have to go right until right at the very end where something comes out of nowhere and stops her, because I hate this questline. Anyways, the monkey foundling to the rescue. If any of your crew is going to save you, she slides down a rope into the vault. Captain, she salutes, hanging upside down by your face and grinning. The Empire of Hands used to be her old playground, and she couldn't resist the last spin around some old haunts. When she heard the dynamite go off in the spooky old temple of the boring dead monkey, somehow she knew she'd find you close by. Helping, grins the monkey foundling, letting you climb her rope to safety. Barnabas remains behind, too heavy. He continues to dig his way out, rock by rock. That, however, was pretty neat resolution to that. A delightful reunion. It appears the delightful adventuress is having problems of her own by the rowboats. A double betrayal. Whatever the once flea-ridden mayor of the Port Stanton took from the delightful adventuress's soul, it evidently came with her loose grip on ethics. Yeah, it's almost like selling your soul is a stupid idea. Surely you could have had something else to pay them with, or something. Whatever. He suspected she would try to sneak away without giving him his cut. He was not wrong. Unfortunately for her, he has a small squad of monkeys at his disposal. Unfortunately for him, she has both her rapier and one last stick of dynamite for mutually assured unpleasantness. Well, says the delightful adventuress, seeing you approach, this is an irritating stalemate. Let's see. Team up with the delightful adventuress, propose a fair deal, or team up with the mayor. Well, I don't like dealing with a filthy, flea-bitten primate more. It was nothing but a stupid moron with no doubt terrible grooming habits. And also, I don't feel like teaming up with the monkey, so propose a fair deal. Split the soul three ways, and everyone can be happy. Delightful adventuress and mayor agree that you are suddenly the biggest threat here, with your attempt to cut in uniting both against you. Before they can move, though, Barnabas emerges from the vault. Delightful adventuress's face lights up. Splendid, she declares. Barnabas, do please deal with this smelly animal. And also the monkey. Hey, I just made that joke. Also now, apparently, she's taken up the stupid ball. The triumph of the delightful adventuress. Barnabas's clay muscles seem to swell as he lumbers forward, silent but purposeful. The unfinished man of clay. Claymen are obedient. Claymen are loyal. Claymen are reliable. Unfinished claymen can be all of these things too. They can, however, be them by choice rather than nature. They can also hold grudges. Extremely well. The delightful adventuress shrieks in fury as Barnabas effortlessly picks her up, dangling her upside down by one leg. The obscenities are muffled by her skirts falling over her mouth, but the gist is quite clear. Well then, says the mayor, carefully eyeing up the clay giant's spare arm. Shall we talk deals now, perhaps? I can split the legacy three ways. Or donate the legacy to the Zeppelin. I don't really care about the souls, frankly. I don't track with dealing in souls for the most part. This will completely fill its requirements for souls. The mayor keeps the remainder to do with as he chooses. You receive the payment from Wildweed Court. The mayor agrees. Of course he does. The boost to his courtly profile will be tremendous. The deal is struck. Also, we will take that one, adds the mayor, pointing at the delightful adventuress, trying to sneak away our emperor's legacy. Tisk. Oh, do not worry. The punishment is not severe. We approve of the avarice. Still, he grins. We'll teach her a little lesson, yes? Then banish in shame. A gift to you from the Empire. Yeah, you know what? Fuck the delightful adventuress. I wash my hands of this weirdness. He deserves it, and she's not getting a ride home. Barnabas dips his head in farewell. He follows some monkeys into the woods towards their boat, still carrying his rashing delightful adventuress. He will not allow her to come to any real harm, but appears to concur that a little humility may be in order. But that is their business. Yours now lies elsewhere. Alright. Well, that stupidity is done with. Let's see. Anything here? Yeah. Let's see. Anything new? Oh. A visitor in court. A duel. What passes for court business draws to a halt as two high-souled monkeys prepare to draw blades. Yeah, I'm just here seeing if anything here has changed. An epic battle to the humiliation. When monkeys duel, every surface becomes a part of the fight. They climb the walls, hang from the ceilings, charge through the cheering crowd with no care for who or what their rapiers may cut and slice. Death is not the goal. For the loser to forever remember this day and this defeat with burning shame is reward enough. Bets are placed. You place yours. As the losing monkey is taken to be shaved and at least one soul forfeited, you collect your winnings. Alright, Rebecca's and more status, whatever that means. Let's see. Your rising status of the court has inspired assorted parties to inquire about your willingness to meet. If I didn't know that that was to do with, souls, I would be thinking of something much more distressing. Oh, delightful adventuress. She stands fuming, her head and hands locked tight in a pillory near the center of the palace. She glares as you approach. Do not even think about it, darling, she spits. When I return to London, there shall be a reckoning. My friends in the Admiralty will not stand for this. Mark my... Oh look, a monkey selling rotten vegetables. Let's see. Why does it require a high-risk challenge to hit her with a tomato? She's stationary. What? Whatever. This is the revenge for monkeys. You're better than that. Or more fiscally responsible, at least. It is doubtful she will be here for long. Theft is not a huge crime for the monkeys, particularly when they got their share anyway. They'll most likely free her as soon as her outrage ceases amusing them. Of course, this far east, she'll be waiting a long time for another ship to take her back to fallen London. Good, good. Did the hate flow through it? No. Alright. Gallery. Let's see, I need 35 for that. Alright, plan. Fuel for the Zeppelin. The exquisite seneschal looks for a trusted agent to establish a relationship with the Iron Republic. A deal with the devil. The exquisite seneschal provides you with a signed contract in a language that it is unlikely any human can read. If you take it to the Iron Republic, they will provide you with hydrogen. It will take several trips to fully supply the Zeppelin, but there will be no charge. Alright. Better deal than normal, considering it's souls and not... I mean, it's not souls, it's just hydrogen. That's actually one of the main exports of hell, that I've heard. Alright, anything else? Trading. I'm a trader. Okay, I can trade some of this Fizzler's honey for romantic literature, which I do need, but it's sort of an issue, a bit of contraband in London, and I can get it for pretty relatively cheap over in the Nephrite Quarter, anyways. So, yeah. I can also give red honey for violent ink, but unfortunately, I can't do the reverse. That will be far more valuable. But I can give a gift of wine and get coffee beans from it, which are a vile invention, but yeah, well, it's a good deal. The berries of the Empire of Hands make a bitter wine, apologizes the Mandarin. They were always such a treat, the vintages of London, before the unpleasantness. A libation is poured. The Empire of Hands does, however, brew a most fine coffee, muses the Mandarin. It looks a little like the kind you would find back home. It smells like it. It tastes utterly indistinguishable. Pure coincidence, he declares, gesturing for more. I'm sure. Alright. And now we're at 36. Alright, let's go. A plan. Supplies for the Zeppelin. The exquisite seneschal may have an unpalatable way of gathering supplies, but only for a trusted friend. A fine meal. The cannibal pirates of Hearthstake Island have long been a thorn in the Empire's paw. With a few little drops of this vial, you could deal with them for good. Their supplies would be very welcome for the voyage. The supplies within the stuff they have, or the supplies within their corpses. Whatever. I guess there's no honor among cannibals. Fair enough. Okay, but I'm not going to do this because I'm fairly certain that locks me out of yet. First I'm going to do the Lost Treasure Hunter. Then, let's see, ahoy. How goes your search, yes? Find anything? It is a voice that so badly wants the answer to be no. Let's see. I could trade him a Searing Enigma for the map. I don't know if that's actually worth it, though. If I recall, mostly just the reward is sapphires and violent ink, I think. Yeah, it's like 10 sapphires, 5 drowning pearls, a pot of violent ink. I mean, it's certainly worth the Enigma when it comes to like pure market value, because the Searing Enigma theoretically only worth 1,000 echoes, but Searing Enigmas are just so much harder to come by than any of those. All of those. I don't know. Maybe later, when I have less uses for Searing Enigmas. I mean, theoretically, there's always uses for Searing Enigmas, because there's actually a... Look here, if you can get enough of them, you can have this really profitable trade between, I think it was Irem and the Iron Republic, something like that, of trading of theoretically infinite profit per voyage, because you can trade a Searing Enigma for 9. I mean, you can trade 9 Searing Enigmas for a Dread Surmise at Irem, I think. Yeah, and then you can trade the Dread Surmise for 10 Searing Enigmas at Iron Republic, or maybe it was the reverse of that, but something like that. Anyways. So, yeah. Don't... I'll hold on that, off on that for now. Now then. To... Wisdom, I guess. Well, hang on. I know that the killing them only gives 60 supplies, so you've still got 39 left. You think of me? So I might as well drop off some supplies here. Let's see. It's fuel though, that's a terrible deal. It's like 5 Zeppelin fuel for 10 units of fuel. Take ages, whereas you can get like 20 basically for free. No wait, you don't need 99 of these, you need 100, so I actually need 40 more. Darn. Yeah. But yeah, this is a rather better deal. 10 supplies for 5 units of supplies, 4 times the rate of the fuel, and drowning pearls. Pretty good. That's a pretty good trade. 7 drowning pearls for 5 supplies. Actually, it might be a really good trade. Hang on, how much are drowning pearls worth? Okay, no, they can't be directly sold, so it's a bit harder to determine their value, but you can trade them for Timon's Mercy, which is the only decent way of reducing suspicion over the Khanate, and you can theoretically trade them trade each one for 2 Sunless Fruit, which is worth, in total, 100 echoes. So yeah, pretty valuable. You know what, maybe I shouldn't actually do the whole thing with the killing off those guys, because it's probably more profitable to just run off the clock with it here. Okay. Just do that. Drowning pearls. Oh yeah, drowning pearls are curiosities as well, not even cargo. They don't even take up space. Pretty good deal then. Alright. You know what? Hang on. I can get a bunch of supplies off an Acelol. I should trade even more then. You can... Fuck it. Nathan's Bluff. Who the fuck is Nathan, anyways? What the fuck is with the light? Oh, whatever. Oh, that reminds me. There we go. Forgot I had turned that off. Let's see. Oh, damn it. I haven't gotten something awaits you yet. Again, I really need to lower the time for that. Getting a bit silly. Actually, you know what? Once I do this, I'll do just that. There we go. It significantly reduced the time. Honestly, I think the whole mechanic is kind of daft. A little something awaits you with that stuff. There we go. Made back all those extra supply they dropped off. Alright. Now, the wisdom. Damn it! Are you shitting me? Oh. You must not have actually saved that I removed the damn... You know what? You can go fuck yourself. I hate how it doesn't actually save when you know, go around with... It doesn't auto-save when you go around with the, equipment. So if you want it to... So if you, like, go on the equipment before exiting, you've got to first, like, undock and then redock or something like that to save those changes. Nah. Aggravating. Okay. There we go. Now, hang on. All right. Okay, so we can get we can get that prisoner out that we need for the what was it? What did we need it for? Oh right, we need it for one of the nonary tokens. And ooh, let me get ashore. This is the... I don't know if this will work. What's up? I know there are some where it just doesn't work, and also... Oh wait, no, I think I've tried this before. It just didn't do anything at all. Okay, so yeah. The prisoner... There are 3 ways to do this. We can either rescue a prisoner, which requires an extremely difficult fails challenge, which is probably impossible to guarantee a success on. This is 25% at 75, that would be... Yeah, that'd be like 300 to be guaranteed success. I don't think that's possible. I mean, the cap of your base stat is 200, so... and I don't think you can get an additional 100. If this was Fallen London, yes, that would be entirely feasible, but this isn't, sadly. So yeah, and you can only go 1, even if whether you succeed or fail. It's quite rough. I'm gonna say I'll save that for something later on. We can ransom it for we have 3,000 echoes. This arts challenge will if it succeeds, it'll reduce it down to just 2,000 echoes. Big thing. Or if we had 175 pages, we could exchange a secret for a prisoner, which is actually extremely profitable. See, okay, so there's 2 types of prisoners you can rescue from here. You can there's prisoners from stories, of which, as far as I know, there's only 2. There's the one from the base game with the engineer guy that I need, and there's the one that I'm going for the ordinary human male for the nonary token. And there's yeah, and that's it. The other kind is generic prisoners, effectively. They don't really what they are is they're effectively those shady sorts that you can pick up somewhere. I forget where you pick them up from. You can deliver them to Gators Morn for about 120 echoes. Now that doesn't sound profitable, obviously, because steering enigmas are, hard to come by, very, very valuable. However, there's two other things that you get besides the shady sort. When it tells you what learned. The other one is a tale of terror. The other is a searing enigma. Yeah. So if you have 175 pages, not a small sum by any means, but if you manage to saying that, you can print money. Because yeah, the shady sort, it does require, it is cargo, theoretically. However, it's a free 120 echoes just by going here, getting full cargo of them, then swinging over to Gator's Morn, which is just a bit away. It could potentially even be closer depending on the way the map generates. And you could just get fucking thousands of echoes for free. I mean, theoretically, the path between IREM and the Iron Republic that I mentioned before is more profitable, but it's so much longer, and it's only a thousand echoes for every 9 searing enigmas you have. You'd have to be ridiculously wealthy for it to be in searing enigmas, which are very difficult to come by reliably. In order for it to come by, but either one is like super endgame. Either, anyways, I made a post about that one on the subreddit. Anyways, so yeah, we're going to be we're not going to be doing that, obviously, since we don't have the pages for it. And also, we're trying to get a specific prisoner who probably won't get refund the searing enigma. Which, come to think of it, is sort of like the old trick of a quarter on a string in a vending machine or something. Kind of silly. Anyways. Oh, and also, it's also really good for being a endgame grind that doesn't involve running drugs or something, or being involved in something horrible. In fact, you're taking prisoners away from a horrible place. So you're actually doing good, theoretically. Anyways, it's spec for hearts. Well, we've got the monkey foundling, get a bunch of hearts. Let's see, surgeon. Alright, nice. Alright. Hot damn, we're already basically spec'd for hearts. That's unfortunate. Alright. It's gotta succeed on this 22% chance of success with 1,000 echoes on the line. No biggie. Come on, big money, no whammies. Big money, no whammies. Big money, no whammies. Haha! Yes! I am invincible! Oh, go on. I'm sure you'll bring me a replacement someday. He is convivial, that the unctuous fellow. He convives to the extent of a half bottle of Greyfield's first sporing. A good thing you kept it for a special occasion. You have a pleasant chat about the weather and the loneliness of life here in the Sea of Lilies, and he generously discounts the fee. Yep. Get it. Bonus 1,000 echoes, and I lost a bit of terror. Alright, here we go. The Wan Sculptor. Some poor soul. You broke in here at random, or as part of your own complex schemes. You rescued some sort of rather genteel pirate, apparently. No. Not for now. Wan Sculptor. She peers out at you with her nose turned up. Oh, well, it's about time. She storms into the ship with her tools, commanding a terrifying presence for one so frail. Wan Sculptor, much like Clay herself. Maybe I should get the other one as well. I mean, What else do I need with that whole thing? It would be nice to get that engine pretty soon, but I'm gonna get an upgrade to my engine pretty soon anyways. Not nearly as good as one that he'd make, but oh well. Alright. Have the Wan sculptor carve a tattoo onto the ordinary human male. Unconventional, but apparently this is what he wants. She doesn't work for free. Something new. The Wan sculptor takes the ordinary human male into a quiet corner of the hole to work. When she emerges, her fingers are stained gray. If you've no more use for me, she says, I'd appreciate being dropped off in Polydream. Plenty of work for me there. The ordinary human male comes out soon after. He looks the same. The new tattoo is, apparently, in a place of some sensitivity. I cannot thank you enough for what you have done, he says, but I am afraid there is one more thing I seek. A soul. He fidgets. A very specific soul, from the depths of Mount Palmerston. Well, you're lucky we're going off in that general direction anyways. Okay, but first, Polydream. Bit out of my way, but not that much. It'll be worth it. And anyways, I'm gonna be going here anyway, so it's not actually... Yeah, whatever. That one, honestly, this... Oh. That, quest line... Ooh, that... Aha! Yeah, that quest for the Nanami token... I mean, there's more to that guy's quest line than this, obviously. The quest line of the, Wan sculptress for the... That is the one that actually gives the Nanami token. Is... one of the shorter ones of the for the Nanami tokens, but certainly not one of the easier ones considering the cost. Back here. Boom. Here we go. Now we can properly begin the pirate poet's quest line. Survivors in need of help. A white flag and frantic waving from several sailors signal their need for help. Will you comply or leave them to their fate? A matter of life and death. They tried to rob you, yes, but is this reason enough to feed them to Z-beasts or condemn them to drown? The decision is yours. I mean, technically, I was the one that attacked. They were... Well, no. They would have attacked me anyways. Just because I just because I attacked them doesn't mean that they wouldn't have attacked me. But still. The thee may show mercy. You will not. No, I'm not such a cold-hearted bastard. I wouldn't condemn them any more than I would condemn myself. Have your men rescue them. You're the kind of person to watch others drown. Yeah, that too. Your crew seem reluctant, but they do as you say. It takes several trips with the lifeboat to get everyone, but thanks to you, no one is left behind to be swallowed by the Z. Whoa, that's a lot of people. Pirate poet. Captain of the pirates. Stern navigator. You've never seen him smile. The vast gunner, big, loud, and strong. The assigned mechanic, marked with a name which isn't his own. The smiling doctor, happy and friendly fellow. The cooking deviless, an unusual occupation for a deviless. Ah, so that's kinda neat. So they're kinda doing... They have the whole, is to say, they're giving more of a, you know, personality of the pirate poet's crew as well as herself. That's neat. A tense start. There's the 2 crews, 1 ship. What is going to happen? Tense start. 10 crewmen, 5 officers, 4 of them unfinished men, and at last the famous pirate poet stand on your deck, all of them armed to the teeth. Which reminds me, I forgot to actually swap back my officers. Oh well. Just as you think you made a terrible mistake, the pirate poet steps forward. She carries little on her but the verses of poetry tattooed over every visible inch, and an old sword almost as chipped as she is. Or rather, carved into every visible inch. She takes a jangling money purse from her belt and hands it to you. I would like to charter this ship for a ride to the Gator's Bourne for me and my men. She nods her head to the sinking wreckage. Since our own ship seems to be a little roughed up, as you take the money, she turns to her crew. Give them your weapons. After all, I just bought a safe passage, and the captain guarantees for our safety, right? She glances at you and smirks at your dumbfounded expression when you nod. Okay then. Alright. That's that then. Don't worry, I'm not bringing you guys over to Folly Dream. I'm just stopping by there. Should I stop by Fathom King's? Whatever. Alright. Step up the man sculptor. Apparently there's a market for tattoo artists here. A glint of gratitude. Thank you kindly. Now will you take this, will you? I don't like carrying it. Or this. Alright, another honorary token. And a judgment egg. Certainly not worth the 2,000... Well, the judgment egg is certainly not worth the 2,000 echoes, but the honorary token certainly is. Alright. Anything here I want to buy? No. Anything here I want to sell? No. Although I really need to swap by the Chelenate now that I think about it. To get more, Stygian Ivory. Is that the only place I can get? I'm sure it's not the only place I can get it. Are there any other good sources of it, though? That would be slightly out of my way. Well, well, there's also the Gant Pole, but that's like right next to the Chelenate, so... Wait, what's that? Hang on, let me check. No, it's the Hut. Oh, wait a minute! There's Nook. Nook can, I'm fairly certain you can get Stygian Ivory from Nook for a pretty good price. Oh, and it also counts Shadow. But yeah, so it's actually right where I'm going. That's convenient. Alright. Oh, that's actually really lucky that they would happen to spawn right next to each other. Because that's actually, well, I mean, it's not that great of a trading opportunity, frankly. Oh, hey. Oh, here. Cooperation. Passengers or not, everyone has to work on a ship in the Naiath. Indeed. However, your crew is still wary of the pirates. It doesn't take long until the first fight. The vast gunner, a clay man as huge as no one you ever saw before, and his team are caught in a shouting match with your gunnery officer. The giant thinks the loading routine of your crew is sloppy and inefficient. The moment a sailor of yours reminds him that it was still good enough to blow their vessel to bits, hell is about to break out. To stop both sides from killing each other, you prefer the competition. The team who's faster loading the forward cannon of your ship wins. Both sides agree, and the following minutes are filled with shouted orders, sweat, and curses only sailors know. In the end, it's in vain for your crew. The vast gunner and his men win. Though you're not sure if it's because of their better technique or the clay giant's enormous strength. Well, it doesn't matter whether they are faster or slower at actually loading the gun if they can't get me in their sights. That's basically how I won, just being out of their vision. But yeah, still, at 4 echoes per whole space of hold for barely any actual traveling time. It's not bad. It's like, oh, what was that? Dumbasses. I don't even know if these guys have any good loot. Probably a slight waste of a skinchlag, but oh well. It's. Here we go. Let's see. Parable linen. Well, oh, I got a lot of parable linen. Where did I get all this parable linen? Well, at least when I go over to, somewhere. Where was the, there's someone I could hire for linen. Alright, Mount Palmerston, of course. Oh, an understanding. The vast gunner and his men celebrate their victory. They joke and they drink and are merry. One of them starts to make jokes about your gunnery team. The roaring laughter at their cost doesn't sit right with your men. Sure enough, a sailor walks up to them and, to everyone's surprise, challenges the vast gunner to a fistfight. The giant clay man stands up from his seat and towers above your crewmen. But his opponent doesn't falter. 10 seconds of silence pass as the young man stares determined at the pirate officer. Suddenly the vast gunner starts grinning. "That's courage for you," he says to his men, as he makes your sailors sit with them. "It seems there's more to this crew than we gave them credit for." Heh. Let's see, are they in my hold or something? Okay, no. Good. They're not picking up cargo space. Alright. I think I gotta deliver them to Gators Moor or something, which is eventually on my way. Ooh. Yep, we're definitely near Nuncio. Rat barge. There. Ah, here we go. Where's Nook? I'm not quite certain. McMaster's Haven. Do not return, sender. Indeed. Taciturn functionaries walk the docks in the uniforms of postmen. An enormous crowned statue casts a chilling shadow. The shadows gleam with rats' eyes, and so do the lack of space between that. I think. It's hard to make out, but I think that might be an error. The shadows gleam with rats' eyes. Their ceaseless chittering rolls like the tide. Yep, this is the home of the post office. So, it's a pretty weird and eldritch place. It's sort of an in-joke, based off of some silly jokes about Fallen where they had silliness like how people can be delivered messages in the weirdest of places. Alright, foot on the beach, and here we go. Seed Blummigans among the rocks. Perhaps you'll find the environment appealing. It's like, yeah, every lap of the wave drags up some letter or parcel. The face of the water is dotted with them, as far as you can see in this blackness, carried by a powerful current. Rapid rewriting. The seed propagates alarmingly fast here. Within a few minutes, there are Blummigans scrambling in between bits of shale and over the faces of the scattered correspondents on the shore. They digest stamps, addresses, sealing wax. Where their tentacles pass over an envelope, they leave behind new replacement directions. Deliverable directions. But who knows whether the new addresses are better than the old ones. These letters used to be dead, but they now have new addresses on them. Alright. And here we go. Claim a floating gift box. A card is attached, addressed only to the goddess who never was and never will be. First, you open the card. The top half holds a perfunctory apology for being unable to attend an event. A birthday, from what you're able to glean. The bottom half is a tear-stained scrawl of messy hearts, indecipherable runes, and holes where a frantic pen has ripped clean through the page. You peek inside the box. Definitely not meant for you. Is it not? Well, the nonary token, maybe. A gift for the goddess. She'll be delighted to receive it, if that's even possible. Yep, and this is... yeah. This is easily the easiest of all of the nonary tokens to get. You just go over to Nuncio Beach and grab it. Alright, the whole storyline here we're going to do next time. But first, let's swing over to Khan's Glory, because I want to finish this dam. I've been delayed too many times, too many episodes, for completing the... what was it? Reluctant snipers. This line. Also, I really need to remember to swap out the officers again before I forget which ones I even had equipped. Ooh! Boom! Wait, no. I've got the pirate poet. Alright, here we go. Return the reluctant sniper to Khan's glory. What will her family make of her new goals? A triumphant disgrace. That's me. Guards bow as the sniper approaches the palace. She greets them like old friends and vanishes inside. The meeting takes less time than you expected. When she returns, she is weary but smiling. My father was furious, she tells you. He considers me a disgrace, but I expected that, and he can never publicly admit it or be shamed himself. So together we pulled some strings and worked out a deal. Officially, I'm a spy on your ship, performing my military service by stealing London's military secrets. Don't worry, I'm no warmongerer. I won't tell them anything that would cause London harm, and I might drop some equally useless information your way to keep things fair. She winks. Here, I want you to have my gun. I've no use for it anymore. Let me bring you to the Timon shipyard. I've been thinking about what the king told me, and the design I absolutely have to try out. So now, place of the reluctant sniper, got the dancing technician. She's seldom in her quarters, preferring to sit on the deck and sketch the shapes she sees in the ship's wake. Alright, a landed artifact and a nonary token. Sniper has found her true calling. Alright, have the dancing technician construct the pike. Let me worry about getting us in. You worry about getting us out. A new class of engine. It takes some lengthy discussions with some very angry guards before you are allowed to bring your ship onto dry dock. Despite the technician's promise of safety, you have your crew keep watch around the dock in case the Timon change their minds about letting foreigners enter and leave their shipyard alive. The technician has you stay by her side while she works, though you have little idea of her plans. As far as my people know, this is your design, and I'm stealing it from you, she explains. It was the only way to get the space and materials I need. There are parts required I won't find in London. The work takes several days. The technician is inexperienced but learns quickly, seeming to glean information from the materials themselves. They already know where they're supposed to be, she explains several times. They're all part of the same creature. If you just listen, they'll tell you how to reassemble it. You listen as best as you can. They are more concerned with the figures spying on the proceedings from nearby cranes. On the eve of the third day, you gather the crew for the grand unveiling. The tinkerer draws back a tarp to reveal a glittering machine of ivory and pearls. A living engine, she gushes breathlessly. You're not entirely sure what she means by that. It certainly doesn't seem alive, but you all concur that it is an exceptionally fine craftsmanship. The Kikanians take notes as you leave. Their top ships may be sporting similar engines as well. Still, you spotted some curiosities in the dock that may tip the scales back in London's favor. Indeed. Alright. Got a bit of supremacy to Khanate, but that shouldn't be an issue unless it goes above 7, I believe. Or something like that. And now I have the pike. It's whisper quiet, even at full power. You have your doubts that it's actually alive, but the crew treats it with respect regardless. Alright. Alright, that's that then. I can compile a port report if I have some recent news. I don't scarce that damn resources, but oh well. Okay, the pike. It's, honestly, considering how hard it is to come by, and especially considering what we're giving up by choosing this ending over the other one, i.e. a really good weapon, and the only upgraded gunnery officer in the game, it's kind of disappointing. Ah well, such is life. Still got an officer's worth of stats. And now, let's see. Slightly higher stats, and yeah, well, I'll go with it, I guess. Alright, now I need a different gunnery officer. Let's see. Irons and Veils, or just irons? Irons and Veils, yeah. Alright, so that's that done. And that's 6 nonary tokens done. What are the rest? Alright. Now I just need... actually, no, 7. Counting the monkey's uncle, which can be sold for 1. Okay, so that means I just need to do the armless hunter, which should just be a matter of getting some more live specimens and stuff for him. And then after that, the cartographer, which should just be a matter of going to the 4 corners of the map and then, with the 3 remaining corners of the map and then ending at Visage, I think. Alright, and then I'll have all 9, and then you will see something glorious. So yeah, next time, we go back to Nuncio, do the storyline there, and also provide Nook, which should be around here, and grab more Stygian Ivory. Then we go to Gator's Moor, I suppose, and then up to Mount Palmerston, then Wither or Codex or whatever, then Venderbite. Then back to London, then to the Grand Geode, and then... Oh, and also the Iron Republic. And then to King Lear's Castle, I suppose. And then all the way back to Visage. Alright, we have our heading. And once all that's done, we should have... Well, we should just have to do the stuff in the Chelonate with the Armless Hunter, which we can do. I'm pretty sure we can just trade a bunch of prisoners for that. Although there is a way to get a Harlot Fry over in Wither, which should be a nice boost. Like it's like 25 as opposed to the 10 that the Life Lesson gives. Anyways, so yeah, we are just blazing through these. Well, I say that, but I mean, these videos are pretty long, and I've already done, like, what? Yeah, that's like 20 of them, counting this one, I think. But man, it's hard. I'd rather make shorter videos. They'd be easier to edit, and also so that I could, get more out of the game and all that, and spend more time on each thing. But man, it just... I don't feel... it's just I want to keep playing, I mean, it's not. I mean, I could release multiple videos a day, but that's extremely inefficient from what I've heard when it comes to the YouTube algorithm. And also, I don't really want to burn out. But man, it just feels bad to have to stop playing, just to keep it at a slightly reasonable length. I say slightly reasonable. It's been like an hour and a half or something. Over an hour at least. But yeah. I don't know. I suppose that's sort of a re-endorsement to the game in itself. Despite all the weirdness, it's genuinely an issue that I don't get to play it as often as I'd like to. Oh well. I guess I could just make a separate playthrough and play that offline, but first of all, that would be kind of difficult that would be kind of iffy because of the way saves work. You don't exactly have multiple save slots, and backing up could work, but one mistake could cause serious issues with that. Hate to lose progress, and also it would just kind of be disconcerting. But oh well, such is life. Anyways, we have our heading. We have a way to get the final few bits of the puzzle. And once we get all 9 Nonary tokens, you're gonna see some serious shit. But until then, I have been Joe Bob, and I'm very peeved. So long, suckers.